So hello and welcome to today's yoga class. So the class today is going to focus on a more restorative class, slowing down, calming the nervous system. So it won't be kind of coming too far up off the mat. There'll be a lot of seated poses, lying down. So I'm just going to go through a couple of props you might need. I do have another video on props if you want to check that out, if you don't have, if you need kind of alternatives. So I have two bolsters here. You might only need one. I just like to sometimes have a second one with me. If you don't have a bolster, you can roll up a blanket for that, or use a cushion. I also have a blanket here, and I have a cushion. So I kind of like a slightly smaller cushion when I'm doing restorative practice, but you might prefer something bigger, but whatever you have at home is perfect. I also have two blocks and a strap, and then I have my eye pillow. So for any positions, poses on your back, it's really nice if you can just use an eye pillow, pop it over the eyes just to shut out that extra bit of light. Okay, so we're going to get started. So I want you to start coming into a comfortable seated position. I have my bolster here. You might be straight onto the mat, or if you want something to elevate, feel free to do that. If cross-legged isn't comfortable for you as well, feel free to leave the legs out straight, two to the side, whatever works best for you. So just let the eyes just gently close over. Just going to place the palms of the hands onto the thighs. And just draw the shoulders up to the ears and just relax them back and down. And just start to take a couple of deep, full breaths, breathing deep into the belly. So we're going to start this class with just some deep diaphragmatic breathing. So when the body is relaxed, at ease, we tend to have a deeper, fuller breath. So even by doing this type of breathing, we're bringing the body into a more relaxed state. So sending the breath all the way down to the belly. If you like, you can place your hands on the belly. Feel it rise, expand. And as you exhale, draw the navel back in towards the spine. Just nice, slow, deep breaths. You might use a count here and see if you can make it a little bit longer each time. And take a moment just to notice the space between the eyebrows and the forehead. Is it relaxed? Is the jaw relaxed? Shoulders, the chest, the upper back, through the body, the arms, the hips, knees, the lower legs and the ankles, to the feet. So just making sure with each exhale, you're just letting go a little bit more. And just remind yourself here that for the next 30 minutes, there's nowhere else you're meant to be, nothing else you're meant to be doing. So just enjoy this time that you've set aside for yourself, your mind and your body. And gently just blink the eyes open. And we're going to come into our first pose. We're going to come into a supported child's pose. So here you'll need your bolster, or again your cushion or whatever you have at home. You just pop that up just lengthways. You can take a second one as well, or you can take your blanket. So I'm going to pop my blanket just on top, just for a little bit extra extra height. So when I'm doing my restorative yoga, I like to be really supportive here. So sometimes I might prefer to go a little bit deeper into the poses, and some days I might prefer just to kind of use my props because that's what they're there for. So just bring the 2 knees on either side of the bolster. You're going to just lengthen through the spine. You can start to walk the hands forward. And just come down, just placing one hand on either side. So you might also take your cushion here. If you want to get a little bit higher, feel free to use blocks, props, whatever it is you need to bring the floor to you. So you want absolutely no strain in the pose. Just nice and comfortable. You can place one ear down or you can place the forehead down. So if you're doing one ear, I'll let you know when we're about halfway through to switch. So just let yourself settle down into the pose. Letting the eyes close over. Feeling that support of the props underneath you. I'm going to bring a little bit of a mantra into it. So just in your head to yourself. Breathing in, I feel secure. And breathing out, I feel safe. Breathing in, I feel secure. And breathing out, I feel safe. So if you would like, you can just repeat that in your head with each breath. You have your ear. I'm just going to gently switch sides. Remembering if your mind starts to wander or gets distracted, just coming back to that mantra. Or alternatively, bring a focus to your breath. Remembering the mind will start to wander and think about things. Just every time you notice it's trailed off, just coming back. I'm going to stay here for about another minute. Forever, just bring the forehead to the center. Deep breath in. And complete exhale. And just start to walk the hands back towards your body. Just take a minute. We're going to come into a wide-legged forward fold. So you're going to come long ways onto your mat. It depends how much room you have at home. I'm going to come this way so you can see me a little bit better. And have your props again. You might like a second bolster here. You might like your blocks. And just take the legs out wide. So make sure you're comfortable on the sit bones. And take your props in towards you. So another option that can sometimes be kind of nice here, if you have blocks, is just to pop them underneath the kind of far end, just to get a little bit more height and bring it towards you. So you can do that. You can take two if you want. Again, you can bring another prop on top, or another bolster. And when you're comfortable here, just start to walk the hands forward. You can keep a slight flex in the feet if you like. So we just don't want the feet kind of falling in or out too much. And then just bring your head down onto your props. So sometimes even I like here is just to interlace my fingers around the edge. And again, you can bring the forehead down, you can come to the side. So whatever feels more comfortable for you. Breathing in, I feel rested. Breathing out, I feel renewed. Breathing in, I feel rested. And breathing out, I feel renewed. Again, if you'd like to use this mantra here, feel free to do it. You have your ear to the bolster. Feel free just to switch to the other side now. Breathing in, I feel rested. Breathing out, I feel renewed. And then slowly start to release the palms of the hands back onto the floor and just walk yourself up, just taking your time. Just remove your props and pop them aside. We're going to set up to come into a twist. So you'll need your bolster again here for this. So just pop your bolster along the mat, again lengthwise. And we're going to take our right hip just right up to the bolster. So just taking both knees over to the left hand side. Walk your hands on either side of the bolster and just lengthen and twist as if we're kind of looking in line with the bolster. And again, if you want to pop any props on top, feel free to do that. Just start to walk the hands down. And we're going to take our left ear down to the mat just to get a little bit more of a twist. If that's too much for you, feel free just to leave the right ear or the forehead. A nice deep breaths down into your belly. Enjoy this twist. Lovely for digestion. Gently walk the hands back towards you just to press yourself up, and we're going to switch sides. So just take the knees over to the left hand side this time. The left hip comes up to the block. Lengthen and then gently walking the hands forward. Again, if you want to get a slightly deeper twist, bring the right ear down. Get yourself comfortable. If you want to use more props on this side, feel free to do that. And remembering you always, not always, but more often than not, find imbalances in either side of the body. Notice the supports from the floor and the mat. Letting your body sink down. Letting the breath slow. No tension in the face. Once again, walk the hands back towards the body to press yourself up. And just move aside any blocks. And just start coming over onto all fours. Just going to do a couple of little circles here with the hips. You can switch directions. And just draw the knees forward, come sitting onto the heels in a kneeling position. And we're going to set up for our final pose. So I want you just to get really comfortable for this one. We're going to take a bolster and blocks. And again, as I keep saying, if you don't have it at home, use alternatives, or you do without, whatever it is, just making sure that you're comfortable. So I'm going to pop in the middle height, maybe I'll have one block in the middle height, and then one in the highest. And just set that down. So you can take another bolster up here, or you can just pile 2 bolsters, whatever it is. I'm popping my pillow here. And then for my legs, I'm going to get my other bolster, so I'm just going to have it handy there. And we're going to come and bring the tailbone all the way up against your bolster. So just make sure that it is steady. So sometimes it can be rocking a little bit if you have your block. So do just kind of like fiddle around with it if you need to. I'm going to take this bolster here and I'm going to pop it underneath my knees. So again, you might need to kind of shimmy yourself around a little bit to get comfortable. You can either just let the legs come out straight, or you can kind of bring the soles of the feet a little bit more together. And just slowly come down. So adjust whatever you need to adjust. If you have a blanket, a lovely, just to throw it over the body, just to keep yourself warm. And again, with your eye pillow here, you can just pop it over your eyes. If you don't have an eye pillow, that's absolutely fine. You can always throw a towel or a face cloth or something. And then just stretch the arms out, palms facing towards the ceiling. If you find it's a little bit of a stretch to get them to reach towards the ground, you can pop them up on cushions or on blocks. So again, just use any props you have and make this pose really supportive, really comfortable. So just take another minute or so here just to bring any other adjustments in if you need to. So we're going to be in this pose for about 6 or 7 minutes. If you have more time at home, feel free to stay here or come down to lying into a Shavasana. At the end, I will just let I'll close the class, but do feel free, if you want to stay here for longer, to stay here and just enjoy this feeling. Just feeling that space coming across the chest here, across the front of the body. With each exhale, just letting your body just sink down a little bit more. We're going to come into a body scan. So just starting at the top of the head. The forehead. Relaxing the temples. Back of the head. The eyes are closed, but just gently. They're not squeezed tight. Your cheeks and nose. The mouth and the jaw are relaxed. The ears, back of the head, the neck, the throat. Down into the chest. The upper back. The middle back and the waist. The lower back and the belly. The hips, heavy, supported. The pelvic area, the upper legs and the thighs. Backs of the legs, the knees, kneecaps, backs of the knees, the lower legs, the shins, calves, into the ankles, both feet, arch, top of the foot, the toes, and the space between each toe. Sole of the foot. And the arms, upper arms, the elbows, the forearms, the wrists, the hands, palms of the hands, backs of the hands, the thumbs, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and the baby finger. The whole hand completely relaxed. The whole body completely relaxed. Is sinking further down into the ground, supported and held. you wish to stay here longer, feel free to do that. Otherwise, just start to bring awareness to the sounds around you. The sounds inside the room and the sounds outside the room. And we bring small movements into your fingers and your toes. You might reach the arms up and overhead, behind you. You might stretch out the legs. And then slowly just roll over onto your right hand side. Just let your hands come down onto the ground just to press yourself slowly back up to a seated position. Coming into a nice comfortable seated position. And then together, just inhale, reaching the arms up and overhead. Bring the palms together, palms to your forehead, palms to heart center. Namaste. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining my class today. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Or maybe if you're heading straight to bed, if you're doing this in the evening, sleep well. Thank you very much.